Good morning, and happy Friday. I am sending everybody positive vibes. Positive vibes. Think about this. If you do the research, always research the musicians. I remember before Beyonce was even known, we saw her. WGCI in Chicago was throwing an event, and she was in a small hotel venue. On it had to be stage had to be about 8 feet long. Who would have known that Beyonce would have blown up like she did today? If you look at Eminem, the dude was grinding for years. Kanye West, and I said to myself, we stayed around 100 in Cottage Grove in Chicago. Why we ain't never run into Yeezy? Why we ain't never run into Ye or whatever they call his name? Keep this in mind. These people have been grinding for years, and when you look at their work ethic, they have a, whether they learned it from their father or whoever they learned it from, they had an intense, disciplined work ethic. And they've been grinding for years. And by the time they hit fame, you know, I, I remember. Sorry about that. I remember Deborah Cox. Wasn't as big. Sorry about that. There you go. I remember Deborah Cox wasn't as big. Deborah Cox was on the same stage doing the same thing that Beyonce was doing, all at the same concert. Keep this in mind. And I hear a lot of people talk about the musical journey or whatever journey it is in business. Once, like I told my technician that used to work for me, he said, I finally got my tax ID number, blah, blah, blah. I said, that's the easy part, youngster. I said, getting your tax ID is the easy part. You still got to get registered. You still got to do A, B, C, and D. You got to get out there and hustle. If you look at the work ethic of Prince, these guys were hustlers, legit hustlers. And when people think about hustling, they may think about drug dealing and what have you. Even in the pool business, I've been in this business since 2012. And we're moving to 2022. Now I'm at the point of picking and choosing and trimming the fat. I'm out there hustling. Now that I'm starting the music production business, I come home tired at night. I came home tired at night, but I said, I still got to put out a video. It's not going to be 100%, but I'm doing something with music every night. Because I want that job to start to overshadow my current business. So keep this in mind. Look at the Kanye West. Listen to the stories, and it's no wonder Kanye West is 1.6 billion. Think about how long it took Michael Jordan to. I don't even know if Michael Jordan's a billionaire like that, but think about Michael Jordan's career from '83 all the way to, I think he might have started playing with the Bulls in '81. Michael Jordan didn't reach his fame status until 1990. 91, 92, and he worked at it for years, and he was one of the greats. So keep this in mind. Anything that you have to do, you're going to have to do the work. And no matter how the work is, it's going to get better. I wasn't the best pool guy. I'm probably still don't consider myself the best pool guy, but I'm a recognized name in my town. And here's the thing, I was a lot bigger, and I can still have the opportunity, but that's not the avenue that I want to grow in. But it takes work. It takes extra work. If you're in one industry trying to get out of another one, or you're trying to make that transition, make that your part-time job. Sit down and say, how many hours do I want to dedicate to transitioning from A to a clothing designer, to A to producing music, to A putting out beats, aside from your regular job? This is my regular job. It puts food on my table, good food. But here's the thing, I want to transition, so I just can't come home and watch Netflix. I just can't I just can't come home and watch Netflix or watch movies or spend time with the other people like I want to because I'm trying to transition. You know, if you look at Jay-Z, you know, I told my wife, Hope did that, so hopefully you won't have to go through that. You know, but be that example, make that additional time. And we're going to talk about marketing a little bit later. I'll say, okay, well, I just don't want to roll out music. How am I going to market it? What's the right timing? Nobody's thinking about this when we're in this season. Same thing in pool. Nobody's thinking about pool service. Nobody's thinking about dipping in a pool if it's 34 degrees. It might be messy, but nobody's thinking about jumping in. So it's not a good time to market pool service. I remember, like Barry Gordy was, I'm a businessman first. That's the reason why I'm successful at the swimming pool business or at anything I put my mind to because my mom always called me when I was a kid. She said, he's an opportunist. She got that right. She got that right. So keep that in mind. This is a video for today. And I love what Don Cornelius said, the great Don Cornelius, love, peace, and soul. I don't even know if I can say that online, but I'll find out, right?